All right. I want to do another little brief video on speed grooming, which for me is my standard speed, so it's not really speed grooming, it's my normal rate of speed. I want to show you a couple of other things in the process though. These have nothing to do with dog grooming. These are me medicating my own dog. And there's me cleaning, so we'll put them over there. These are what I used on her to brush her out with. Just because I haven't put them away yet. What I have done to make it easier to know what I've used on each dog is I've made a basket, sit it on my desk, or on my station. When I use something in between dogs, today it's not going to be a big deal because the only 2 dogs I'm grooming today, because it's my day off, are in the same family, so it's not really a big deal. But for the other days when I am swapping around, they go in the basket. I know what I need to clean in between dogs. That includes shears most of the time too, even though it's shears I tend to just wipe off. I have the Clorox peroxide wipes and Cavi wipes. I have both at my station and at Billy's station. So we can just reach and grab one, wipe a comb down, wipe a pair of shears down, put the shears away, done. Easy to clean if you do it that way. Alright, this dog is blind, which is one reason why I have a rear loop on her. And just give me 1 second. I have not wrapped my left wrist yet today, and I need to or I won't be able to groom. Waiting on another doctor's appointment with a different doctor for a referral. I'm not happy with the doctor's office I've been going to, so yeah, I'm gonna go see a different doctor after Christmas. But anyway, there we go. Something that simple is all it takes to stabilize that wrist a little bit for me. Now, this dog, well, her mom is interesting and I love her. She sends me instructions every single time. They're saved to her computer. It's a cool deal. Coco, the white Havanese, who's blind. Excuse me, white Maltese. That was the funny part. White Maltese. Yeah, you know. They all white? They are all white. So anyway, trim overall to half the current length, cut face and feet short like a poodle, belly shaved, sandy cut, trim all nails as short as you can get them without them being too short. Make sure they're smooth and won't snag furniture, please and thank you. Ears, clean and pull out hair, anal glands. And then she goes on to say, please take every precaution with Coco as she is blind. But she reminds me of this every single time, which I'm cool with. I like knowing the ins and outs because we do so many, sometimes we forget. Poodle feet on this one, I'm going to use my little Figura Mini, which I'm not even sure they make anymore. Any of the small clippers are great for small poodle feet. What I like about them is that they're a little more fine-toothed, therefore you don't end up with the risk of nicking or cutting as easily as you might on a smaller dog with even a Bravura might, because they are so small. These dogs were done at the vet clinic that they go to last time, and she said they did not do their nails. She called them back and was told the dogs are terrible for nails. I just shaved the poodle foot in that period of time, and I'm fixing to do her nails on this foot. Yes, I'm fixing to. I know y'all make fun of me for my southern colloquialisms, but fixing to is a staple of southern language. Yeah, she's really bad for nails. I always do nails after doing poodle feet because for me it makes it easier. Alright, that's one foot. Let's file those nails and get it over with. And in case you're wondering, I have a headphone in because I have the phone forwarded to my headset, because when I'm working by myself it's just easier. All I have to do is hit a button and I'm good to go. That hurts. So I'm going to see a hand surgeon. When filing nails even hurts, yeah, there's a problem. And it does right now. But There's one really pretty poodle foot. So, I don't know. I think what happened is the groomer forgot to do the nails on the dogs, or maybe she's afraid to do nails. I don't know. I know she's new and young, and she's a baby groomer. But these dogs are not bad for nails. I started work on her at 11:30. It's 12:10, but that included bathing, drying, getting on the phone with my doctor's office, so forth and so on. So, it's okay. There goes my phone. So let me see if I can answer it real quick. Hello? I am. You're fine, Miss Sheffield. I'm going to be here for a while, so don't worry about it. You're good. You're welcome. We'll see you in a little bit. Bye. That's why I like this headset, for answering the phone when I'm working back with the dog on the table. I don't have to hold the dog. All I have to do is hit the button and talk. All right. No. I don't call that bad for nails. That's 2 feet. The other thing about the little clippers is that it makes them so easy to get in between the toes on these little guys that you end up with a beautifully clean foot really fast and easy. Good girl, you're pushing your butt up in the air. That's 3 feet. What I have learned with these little clippers is that because you can maneuver them down in between the toes so much easier, you don't have to pull the foot up and spread the toes apart, which they fight you on sometimes. So it makes doing poodle feet so much easier. If I'm doing a bigger clipper, sometimes I have to spread the toes, and then you're handling them a little more. They don't like it so much. But the way you can literally get this clipper down in between the toes, just so much easier. I always blow on the foot because that's going to show me if there's any hair that I missed, and then here there is. Just a little bit right in there. I'm also not one to dig around and try to get every last hair on a foot for a pet. Not happening. Okay. that. One more. One more. And she just knocked my brush off, but that's okay. Okay. And then into the basket we go. Same with that. I'll clean those. Well, I won't this time because I've got her sister going on the table, but otherwise I'd clean them in between and we'd be good to go. Now, when I first started grooming, we weren't exactly told to clean everything in between every dog. That's been something that I have really just become kind of funny about in between dogs in the last 10 years or so. Because it just wasn't something that was that important to most groomers, and I was working at vet clinics and so forth, so no vet clinic ever explained it to me. Nobody I ever worked with explained it to me. That said, never that I know of did I spread anything from one dog to another. Mostly because I think I've worked on clean dogs for the last 15 years or so. I mean, never, nothing have I spread that I'm aware of. So, alright, and she's going to get about half off, which is going to be the dark blue comb. No, purple. See, right there, into the basket. I've gotten in the habit of doing it even though these are the same family, just so I don't have to worry about trying to remember, even if they're not the same family. Once you get in the habit of something, they say it takes 30 days for a habit to develop. So keep that in mind. It'll feel funny at first, but after you've done it routinely for a while, it becomes second nature. The only thing on my table that I can't clean in between every single dog is the grooming nooses or loops, whichever you want to call them. I don't have enough of them to be able to wash them in between every dog. That said, if I have a dog that I suspect has any kind of skin bump, or that is dirty when I put them on my table for whatever reason, the loops go in the washer. Just plain and simple. If it's anything questionable, if it looks like yeast, if it looks like staph, if it looks like anything that might be spread, if the dog had fleas, it goes in the washer. Doesn't happen very often in here because the vast majority of my clientele are so good at maintaining their dogs that we don't have that problem very often. I see it every now and then, but not very often. Now, the reason I have a rear loop on her at the moment is because she is blind and I don't want to scare her. I don't want her to freak for something that I do and go off the table backwards. Sorry, it's beeping at me. Have to fix that. Just telling me somebody messaged me on Facebook. And I don't need to know that right now. What I have done in here lately is come in the mornings and forward the phone to my cell phone, which is attached to my headset with an inline mic. And I'm able at that point to be hands-free and talk to people. Because let's face facts, holding a phone and trying to groom is not fun. But this way I can talk and get it over with. I don't have to worry about it. It allows me to have two hands free to talk. And that's a speed tip, because if you have two hands free and you're talking and you're grooming, you can do that. It's no different than talking to the person across the room. But if you're holding a telephone and trying to hold a dog and trying to groom, it's not as safe. And it's not something that I personally can do. I just can't. I end up stopping every single time the phone rings to answer the phone. And this morning I've been working on the phone with insurance company and getting approval to go see another surgeon and all of this. So it's been fun, 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 fun. Stop. Stand her up to do her belly, just because it's easier. Get your belly a little tighter underneath there with the back. I shaved around her privates, as her mama likes to call them, with a 9 or 10 setting on this. But I went ahead and did it again a little higher up on her belly with a snap-on collar. And then just to smooth her out, I'm going to go backwards. I don't like the way it looks because she's a Maltese. Maltese hair sucks being flipped. It's designed to be long and flowy, not be cut and shorter. Now yeah, I'm going to admit, using the vac does help me become faster. When you learn how to use it on pretty much every coat that there is, you will get faster. You will get really fast really quickly. Now, the blade is broken. The tab is broken on it at the bottom that adjusts it. And I haven't gotten around to changing it out yet. So I have to use my fingernail to do it. It's not wanting to cut either. It doesn't like her hair. There we go. It likes that better. You'll notice I'm sort of sketching my motions, are a little shortened, like literally like you're sketching something out or scratching at something. That's how I get most of my clipper work done. I think it was Curtis Hanby who described the best clipper back motion or the best vacuum clipper motion as being a sketching motion. And that's what I do. And FYI, clipper back attachment, clipper back swivel, clipper back hose. So, clipper back. My remote sometimes doesn't work so well, but this is a remote to turn it on and off with, so I don't have to leave and go do that. Because it's in the kitchen. And this PVC right here is what it's plumbed into. It goes up and around into the kitchen. All right, baby girl. Let's get you finished. Oh, there goes my phone again. A cut above. I think we can do that. That shouldn't be a big problem. We'll be here at 7:30 and we just need you in before 10 o'clock. Okay, can you spell your last name for me? Okay, I'm just not at the computer, so I wanted to make sure. All right, I got it. Thank you. The truth of the matter is I didn't understand her when she said her name, but rather than ask that question again, you just ask how it's spelled and you're good to go. I know how to do this. I didn't understand her because she was breaking up a little bit. This little dog is spooky. She doesn't like being done because she doesn't know what you're doing. And when I went to scissor her just then, she didn't realize what I was doing and she mildly freaked out. So, let me fix that. Little piece of hair there I didn't understand. There we go. I think she licks her feet a little bit. She's stained pretty good. And granted, that's not going to come out with a bath, but we do try to minimize what's left if we can. I think that a lot of people believe that because you cut it off that you've actually gotten it off. No, ma'am, we actually just cut the hair off. Don't do this at home. It'd be really bad if they started doing it at home. When people ask me about getting rid of those tear stains, I just say my trick is magic and I can't share it with them. One of my former groomers used to tell people, I'd tell you, but I'd have to kill you. She was funny. I actually really miss her sometimes. She was really fun to be around. She no longer grooms at all, so I should call her when I need help though. Like, hey, Paige, come help me. I'm kidding. No reason why, but she doesn't groom at all anymore, so she would be incredibly rusty, and yeah, no, just no. However, as I have said in the past in a couple of my other videos, I am going to be doing some surgery, hopefully shortly, so if that's the case, then I'm going to be looking for help. So if anybody wants to come down and work for a week and get some hands-on training, think about it. Message me. I'm not kidding. I'm really serious about that. Okay. Now her tail's not matted. It has hair in it from where she sat down on the table and gotten hair from her poodle feet and all that gets stuck in her tail. So we got that out. Now her ears don't have any hair in them, so I don't know why her mom wants them plucked. I mean, there's nothing in them. I've already looked. There's not even anything to cut out. Now, I cannot do a hand-scissored Bichon or a big doodle in 20 to 30 minutes. Oh, there's a little bit of hair in this one. There's nothing in the other one. But my primary clientele in this shop, at least on this table, is this kind of little dog. Nothing over the size of a Cocker Spaniel is usually going to make its way to my table. Not usually. The other day I did a doodle. I do several. I do a lot of them that I just really love. They're really good dogs, really good owners. But as a general rule, I do 20 pounds and under. Really prefer 10 pounds and under, and do a ton of them. With my hand problems, anything any bigger just pushes and tugs and hurts, and yeah, it's just not really worth it to me. I ran into that last week with the doodle. I mean, I went home in tears because the doodle pulled so hard and it hurt so much. I just couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't work after that dog. She ended up being a full-on hand scissor, which is not what I was told. I was told we want her to look like Banks, which is an A comb with slightly longer legs. Well, when they got here, they were horrified because Banks is only about an inch long. And they're like, oh no, that's too short. She was like this long. So I ended up hand scissoring her. It's just not what I was expecting to have to do. So, anyway, I went home in tears because I was hurting so bad. I much prefer the little guys. I can do tons of these little guys, 12, 15 of them a day. She has taken me 25 minutes, including 3 phone calls, I think. And that included Actually, let's say 45 minutes if you include the bath and the dry. And if I had been able to work on her straight through instead of getting the camera and getting everything set up and all of that. So, anyway, there's Miss Cali. And again, into the box with the basket. And there she is. And she's super cute. So, there you go. There's another one. I'll be back in a minute with one more. All right, Callie, let's go up.